Today, over 400,000 Canadians are living with dementia, and that number will grow to about 1 million by 2031. Right here in Ottawa and Renfrew County, over 24,000 people are living with dementia. Consider that every single hour, 9 more Canadians are diagnosed with some form of dementia. Most diagnoses of dementia affect people over the age of 65, but at least 3% occur in people younger than that. So it is important to consider that one of your friends, family members, co-workers, coaches, or volunteers could be living with dementia or mild cognitive impairment. When people see the signs of dementia, that's exactly what happens. They see the signs. What can often be overlooked is the person. We want to change that. Most people living with dementia live in their homes and strive to remain active members of the community. Businesses, organizations, and the community at large play a significant role in creating safe and inclusive spaces where people living with dementia can remain meaningfully engaged. The concept of dementia-inclusive communities fits within the context of recognizing human rights and disability rights. It also speaks to the right of each individual to be supported and to remain independent in the community for as long as possible. So if most people who live with dementia also live in the community and want to remain independent and active members of the community, then everywhere can be made more dementia inclusive. Grocery stores, offices, public transportation, and local businesses. But how? We can look at our environment as something that can be improved to enable the inclusion of people living with dementia. People living with dementia can experience changes in their vision, such as spatial and color perception. Objects with similar color may blend into each other, and significant contrast changes look like different depths. Let's use contrast to be helpful. Make high contrast distinctions between things that need to stand out from each other, like cutlery and placemats, or soap dispensers in bathrooms. But also know when contrast is not helpful. A dark floor mat on a white tile floor? That might look like a gaping hole and can be scary for a person with dementia. Whenever possible, have uniform floors. Bringing in natural light is always a good idea, but watch out for high glare and excessive shadows. Both of these can play with the perception of a person living with dementia. Shadows can look like real objects, and glare on surfaces can be perceived as wetness, potentially signaling a danger. Choose decor with matte finishes and consider sheers on windows to mute excessive sunlight. In public spaces, signs can be great to communicate, but they can also compete with their environment. When information starts to become overwhelming, it stops being helpful. So limit the amount of direct signage and consider having signs angled to minimize their visual impact. To keep things visually simple, don't use fonts with serifs, those small little lines at the end of a larger stroke on a letter. It's not just visual information that can be overstimulating for people living with dementia. Sound can also be overwhelming. Background noise is especially hard to tolerate and adds to confusion. Wherever you are, try doing a noise audit. How loud are people or equipment outside the room? Can you hear people walking upstairs? Is there traffic outside that might be distracting? Are you competing with the background noise of a radio or a television? Is there a quiet space available for people to rest and regroup? To help make a society dementia-friendly, you can build spaces that accommodate the perception of people living with dementia. Remain aware of how ambient surroundings can affect the ability to think, act, and feel. If you're ever unsure what steps you can take to help, observe and listen to people you know living with dementia, or ask us. The Dementia Society is your partner in building a dementia-inclusive society.